Well, boy, it must be hard to be an Arsenal supporter right now. Jose and Spurs are looking like title contenders, and Arsenal are looking like they may finish lower than they did last season. Anything else to add, Steve?
Yes, Rio, we have got loads to talk about this weekend. And of course, we've got Manchester United's first win, but we do need to talk about what is going on at Arsenal because it cannot be good to be an Arsenal fan at the moment. First up, though, let's talk about Chelsea.
So Chelsea's run continues. They're unbeaten in their last 11 games. Frank Lampard has got them absolutely flying at the moment.
Chelsea have been on an impressive run of form for over a month now, and it started with that hard-fought draw with Sevilla in mid-October. They have conceded just once in their last 7 games, and they've amassed an unbelievable aggregate score in their last 5 games of 16-1. Only Spurs with 8 are enjoying a longer unbeaten run than Chelsea, with that 7-game unbeaten run that they're currently on, with the Blues scoring 3 or more goals in 5 of them games. It's a hell of an impressive run of form that they're on at the moment. Frank Lampard's side enjoyed 72% possession in their 2-0 win over Newcastle on Saturday as they temporarily went to the top of the Premier League.
What I loved about this performance for Chelsea against Newcastle, away at Newcastle, it's always a difficult game. Different circumstances, no fans I know, but you still got to get through that game, you've got to grind through. And the confidence I feel this team will get through where they haven't blitzed this team away, 2 or 3 goals early in the game. They've had to sit there and just grind through this game and show that resilience and that character to get them through. I think it's a huge step in the right direction for them, because you've got to remember the amount of new players that they've added to this team is a big number of players. Difficult to do that. Normally 1 or 2, 3 players come through in the window, difficult enough to do that, but the amount that they've had is phenomenal, and they're all involved, they're all playing. Ben Chilwell again impressive at left back, the goalkeeper another clean sheet, fantastic.
Chelsea flaunted their title credentials again this weekend, and I think they're showing no signs of slowing down. I do think they're going to be a team to watch, and I do think that the new signings that they've got, they're really helping raise the levels within this team and also eliminate the tiredness issues, the lack of pre-season and that sort of thing. So they are going to be in the mixer come the end of the season, I think.
But Timo Werner as well, I think he's starting to find some form. I mean, I don't feel he's playing as well as he has done in his career before throughout the 90 minutes, but he's having big impact on the game. Assist again at the weekend, he's scoring goals, but also he's setting up chances. What he done for Tammy Abraham's goal was tremendous, so long may that continue. Frank must be delighted with the new arrivals, but more importantly, with his team in general.
Number 2, Spurs made a statement. Jose Mourinho took Spurs past Manchester City in a very Jose Mourinho-esque performance. They are seriously realising their potential now under Jose. This is what this team could have done if they'd have had a good manager all these years. At the end of game week 9, they are Premier League leaders after that 2-0 win over Manchester City. Goals from Heung-min Son and Lo Celso added to Guardiola's early season woes as Spurs won a 4th consecutive game for the first time since February 2019 under Pochettino. Only Calvert-Lewin with 10 has scored more Premier League goals than Son, who's on 9. Meanwhile, Harry Kane keeps up his blistering form. I mean, this is seriously good form that Kane is in, as he's now been involved in 24 goals in just 15 games in all competitions this season, with at least 8 more than any other player in the English top flight.
And Jose Mourinho, you have to say, it was a masterclass in terms of the way he set his team up. They were solid, they were compact, they stayed in it. They wasn't very deep, too deep, but when they won it, they were a threat. And obviously you saw the likes of the way that Harry Kane, again, continuing his rich vein of form in terms of setting up Son with another chance, another goal. Lo Celso comes on, scores a goal, makes it 2-0, finishes the game off. Listen, City had chances, City done their bit in the game, but they didn't have enough to break this team down. You have to say that he's got this team now, Jose Mourinho, playing very well. They're very methodical at times in the way they play. They defend, they're resolute. Holt vet, an absolute massive signing for Jose. You have to give him huge credit. Identifying him and saying he's going to come in here, he's going to be the breaker, the person that sits in there, does all the nasty work, the hard jobs, stops the other team from playing, and then passes it to the people like the Kanes, the Sons, etc. to go and do their bits of magic. Special mention as well for Ndombele. This kid, I saw him play for Lyon against City last year, or the year before last. He was magnificent in midfield. What I love about him is he can turn defence into attack very quickly, physically very strong, but his feet, great movement, can shift the player and attack the space. And that opens the game up for the attacking players in that sense as well. And some of his passes as well, to some of his teammates has been fantastic, and I think he's someone who's going to have a great future as long as he continues in this vein of form. His work ethic still needs to work on himself in terms of physicality, I think, because I think his endurance probably needs a little bit of work.
With his major stars in this Spurs side firing on all cylinders, this could be the moment that Jose Mourinho manages to take Spurs over the line and win some silverware. Whether that's the league, which I do think they're probably in contention for, or if he can take them the distance in one of the cups, as we know that's something that Jose likes to do.
Can Spurs start dreaming about winning the league yet? I know the fans will be talking about it. Do you think they can afford to start dreaming about that, or do we need to see more consistency? We need to get beyond Christmas. I never looked at the league table till after Christmas, I've got to be honest here. Whether we're top, all I wanted to know is really, are we within 9 points, 10 points? If we're within 9, 10 points and we turn that corner at Christmas, it'd be a good team to stop us. So we'll see with Spurs.
On the contrary, though, I think Manchester City are having one of their worst starts to a league season since Sheikh Mansour's takeover in 2008. They've accumulated just 12 points from their opening 8 league games so far this season. They go into Gameweek 10 in 13th, 8 points off Spurs at the top. When are people going to start talking about the failure of Pep Guardiola? Now, people will go, he's won stuff. He has won stuff. But considering that he took over a team that had recently won the league, he spent $1 billion on it, he's constantly spent on it. I don't think his record in the transfer market is that good, actually. I think the stars of this Manchester City team have largely come from players that have been there before he got there. And I think that if you've got to look to Pep Guardiola to do a rebuild, I wouldn't be very confident. But I also don't think Manchester City will sack him, because I think they absolutely worship the ground that the guy walks on. Number 3, United finally win at home.
So United finally win a game in the Premier League at Old Trafford. Wow, who thought we'd be sitting here saying that? Man United not winning in the league after a few weeks, and we've been in the season for how long we have been. It's unbelievable, really. But listen, they got there by hook or by crook. They were very fortunate. It's been well documented what I thought of the penalty decisions. I thought they were all terrible. The referee was shocking on the day. He gives a penalty to West Brom, who were picking away, were playing a very good game. They were, again, very compact in the way they played. Had a game plan, Slaven set them up to be hard to play against. But they still created a couple of opportunities. Pereira with some fantastic bits. I think he got 4 nutmegs in the first 45 minutes. Cheeky. But Man United, I thought, got off lightly in the case of the penalty decision. The referee saw the decision, gave it immediately, which was the correct decision. He caught him, definitely, whether he dived a bit or not, he caught him. In today's game, in my era, not a penalty, but in today's era, I think it definitely is. He goes and looks at the VAR camera, sees the angles, and overturns his own decision. Laughable. The Man United got aware of that. They go up the other end, they get a penalty where actually there was a foul beforehand on the West Brom player. Sam Johnson, who I knew at Man United, steps up, comes off his line a bit early and saves a penalty. Rightfully so, recalled, take again. And Man United, Bruno steps up again, the hop, skip and jump, bang, puts it in the other corner. So what can you say? Pressure's on. Bruno loves the pressure. And what I will say is this game, it wasn't by any means a good advert for Manchester United in the way they play football. There was only moments in the game, flashes of brilliance, and it all revolved around Bruno Fernandes. One of his passes to Juan Mata was sublime. But I'd like to see Bruno maybe just stay higher up the pitch. I think he's coming too deep because he's searching, and because the team is fluid, he feels he needs to come and get involved deeper. The higher he is, as we saw, when he's at the cutting edge of this team, they create chances. And as long as he stays high up the pitch like that, Man United will have better times, I believe. But sometimes in football, things aren't going well, you're not playing particularly well, you're not getting the results, you've not won at home. You just, before the game, you say, just let us win. Don't care how we do it. And that's what, in the Man United change room, they've got to be sitting there saying, we've won the game, forget the performance, let's move on now, let's build on that. And I'm sure that's what Lee will be telling his squad.
And Bruno's penalty was the difference between United not picking up a win and going winless for the first 5 times at home for the first time since 1972. It's a long run, and thankfully Bruno saved our blushes. And I agree with what Rio says in a massive sense. When you look at where the involvement of Bruno was across the pitch, Bruno was literally everywhere. A lot of his involvements were on or in our own half or on the halfway line, and that's not where you want a number 10 to be. He created 6 chances. He could have created more if he'd have just been further up the pitch a little more often. And I think that's going to be the difference. United are heavily reliant on Bruno at the moment. I think we need to start mixing up the personnel at the top. For me, Rashford did not look fit. I don't think Tony Marshall looks like he's at the races. Are we going to see Paul Pogba? Are we going to see Van der Beek? I know United have got a brutal run coming up at the moment. I think Ollie's going to have to really utilise the squad for us to get through that period.
Yes, boys. Thank you for having me back on. You know what it is. Every week, 5 things we've learned about the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes, he loves a pen, doesn't he? I mean, we all know that, so it's not as if we've really learned this, but you know, he loves a pen, and I'd say he's really, really helping Man United get out of a sticky situation at the moment.
And something that worries me as we go into this period is the fact that we've gone 4 games now without scoring a goal from open play. It's all right scoring the penalties, and it's all right if we got a penalty in every single game and won it 1-0, happy days, and I'll be celebrating that title just the same as the other 20 that we've celebrated. But there's a worrying trend there. Without the penalty, could United have got past West Brom? I'm not sure we could have done. And West Brom are not a great side. And even though they made it difficult, they sat a lot of men behind the ball, they still leave loads of gaps all over the pitch. So I think if United do want to be taken seriously, if we do want to be comfortable inside that top 4 and look to progress this season and maybe mount title challenges in years to come, then it has to start with being able to be competitive and creating chances. And I think that, much like the team we're going to be talking about next, if you're not creating chances, you are going to struggle.
But I still expect to see Pochettino in by January. That's just my thoughts, etc.
Joel, why would Pochettino and United, come on, mate. We're better than that. We don't need Pochettino coming. We've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, our kid. And don't you be worrying about United managers. I think you've got your own problems.
Arsenal, all you Arsenal fans who are always there, quick to shout and laugh and smile and celebrate. Listen, it's good. It's football. It's what it's about. Emotions going crazy. I've been there. I've done it. Ollie's at the wheel. That type of stuff. But you guys you struggle again. You can't get over the line again. Pepe let you down. I don't understand it. You're a player that's been... Before he went on to the international duty, he said, I want to get back into the team. I need my chance. I'm not happy. I'm only happy when I play. You get given the opportunity and you do something so ridiculously stupid and get sent off. It doesn't make sense. Let your teammates down, he let himself down. And I want to see Pepe do well. I saw him when he was a little beautiful footballer, skills, etc., playground type player. Needs to do it at Arsenal. The big fee brings pressure. Ain't dealing with it well enough right now.
Leeds obviously a little bit of a tough prospect for most teams under the tutelage of Marcelo Bielsa, but let's be honest, they actually battered Arsenal. I mean, it was 0-0, but like if you watch the game, Arsenal were lucky that it was 0-0, in all honesty.
Listen, man, Arsenal. Of course I'm going to start off with Arsenal, but Arsenal, talk about scraping a draw. I've never seen a side get bullied so much. I mean, I heard the stats, and Leeds had created more chances than any other team in the Premier League this season against us. I mean, you would think that we learnt from the Aston Villa game, but no. You know, we were incredibly poor. My favourite player at Arsenal, Aubameyang, he just hasn't looked the same since he signed a new contract. And yeah, we definitely need to address what's going on over there, because to me it seems as if we've got a few players like Kieran Tierney, Saka, who's playing well, but it's not enough, man. And Saka came on as a sub. Obviously, he's playing a lot of football at the moment. We need to protect these players. Thomas Partey's injured. It's not looking... You know, a few weeks ago, the Arsenal fans were like, oh, we just had a party at, Old Trafford, and I was the one leading that parade, I'll tell you that for sure. But we have been humbled of late.
They've scored just 9 goals in the league this season. Only 4 teams have scored fewer than them. That's near enough relegation form. It's certainly bottom half of the table form.
Weren't firing at all. Can't get Aubameyang going. Can't get him scoring after he's signed a new deal. Hasn't really set the world alight at all. Was on fire before that, up to that point last season and this season. They haven't got that fluidity that I'd seen before. We've seen in the Arteta team from before. And things aren't just coming off for them. They need to get it right quick. Their defenders, I'm sure, I saw Holding when the whistle went, delighted, fist pump, clean sheet. I understand that. But I'm sure they'll be looking for more, because they were very fortunate to come away with a 0-0, because Leeds opened them up on numerous occasions, hit the woodwork. They can't believe, as someone made the post or the crossbar a bit thicker or something, because the amount of times they hit the post and woodwork was just crazy. They couldn't believe their luck. I feel that Leeds come off that pitch, they were trudging off thinking, how the hell have we not won that game?
And 5, I don't like this. Liverpool were impressive again. This hurts doing it as a United fan. It really does. Now, the headlines going into Liverpool game at weekend was on the sheer number of Liverpool players that were going to be missing for Jurgen Klopp this weekend. We were all rubbing our hands together saying, come on, here we go. Let's have the wheels totally fall off. See how they like to cope with it now. And then they absolutely spanked them 3-0.
Well. We're all sitting here. You see all the pundits. You see all the people, the fans and the media. Liverpool are struggling. Liverpool going to be on their knees. They've lost Van Dijk. There's 8 players out. Trent's out. A lot of them are out there. Mo Salah's injured at the weekend. They're playing against a lesser team in form, top of the league. Brendan's got them firing. Liverpool come out, absolutely slap Leicester off the pitch. Backhand, forehand, everything you wanted. Bang. Crash wallet, bang. Good night. 3-0. Absolutely convincing.
They had no Trent, no Van Dijk, no Joe Gomez, no Jordan Henderson, no Thiago, no Salah, but that didn't stop them sweeping away what's been one of the stronger outfits in the Premier League this season. A side like it was nothing. And they get a clean sheet, which is the second clean sheet in 14 Premier League games. And they stopped a run of conceding in their last 6 at Anfield. The performance and the result has proved that Klopp hasn't just built a top 11, that he's also got a squad with depth which is capable of coming and doing bits as well. And Jota, what a signing he's been for him.
But you got to give time up for this man. Diogo Jota has come in 4 goals in 4 starts, or 4 goals in his first 4 games to Liverpool. Like, the recruitment at Liverpool, what they've done to get him so far, what he's producing is just fully justified. But not many people were sitting there going, Jota, let's get Jota. He's coming and he's saying to Klopp, you better start me. You can't afford to drop me. I'm banging in goals week in, week out, and rightly so. And that's what you want at a top club. You want players coming in, having an impact immediately and saying to the other players, yeah, you guys are great. I watched you last season, but I'm here to raise the bar. And that's what he seems to be doing, the little man. So he's been nothing short of a phenomenal signing. And everyone thought defenders are out. As I said, Van Dijk, Gomez, Trent, all out, that they were going to struggle. I said before, when that happened and everyone was moaning about the injuries and Liverpool going to be in a bit of a problem now, a sticky situation, Liverpool, you still got to score 2 or 3 goals to think you're even going to beat them or get a draw. Because them boys up front, they score goals, man. They score every week. They don't mess about. It's hard to keep them out the way that they play. That midfield and them forwards, they attack, they ask you questions for 90 minutes. It's going to take some team to keep them out. So Liverpool, players out, but same old story.
Right then, that is it from me, Joel, and from Rio. Make sure to get your comments in below, and we will see you guys in the next one. Laters.